Rajesh, maybe like I can, start by asking, a very general question, right?
Mhm.
So maybe like, what like kind of inspired you to be like an start angel investing? Like, was it like intellectual stimulation? Was it like networking with the best founders? Or was it because it's a like a very exciting investment class?
Yeah, so I started my first investment when I had crossed over to 40s, right?
This is
And
what year?
काफी 12 साल हो गए, नहीं 15 साल हो गए.
Wow.
तो जब आदमी 40s क्रॉस करता है, when you cross over to 40s, there's a great deal of anxiety, right? Feel you're getting old. Right. Nowadays, they say 40s is the new 30s. But uh, so that sense develops around you, right? So that was my way to stay young by uh, interacting with younger founders. One, but I think you rightly characterized it. It was just 1 second. Yeah. So I think the right motivation for me was to stay connected with the startup ecosystem. So much innovation was happening, and it's practically not possible for one person who's doing one job. I was the founder president of a very large company, to stay abreast with so much of development, both entrepreneurial and technology. And there's so many smart people who are always innovating. I felt if I did 5, 10 investments a year, that would help me to stay abreast with the innovations in the ecosystem. So you may call it intellectual stimulation. Yes, partly that also. But for me, it was to stay abreast with technology innovations. So that
Got
was my primary motivation um, at that point of time.
Got it. Got it. And like since you've been investing for the last 15 years, like has that also kind of now like has angel investing also turned into like a very exciting investment class from like from a returns perspective, just beyond the intellectual simulation and beyond, getting to meet exciting founders.
Yeah, but only for a few. I think it still remains a very risky asset class. Let me just give you a statistics from the first 65 investments I did, right?
Wow. And how many have you done till now?
Over 130.
Wow.
So in the first 9 year of investing, out of the 65, over 40 companies died, right? Died means I got zero return. Just you invest. And the other part is that in a cohort, the failures happen first in startups,
Hmm.
right? Then over the passage of 9 years, the 15 companies gave me some capital back, some share buyback, acqui-hires, uh, so on. Things happen. So got half X to 3X kind of returns from those 15. But the 10 companies that survived this massacre uh, are the ones that gave me portfolio return of over 12%, but each one of them gave me minimum 25 to 500% return. And that made it worthwhile, right? So there are two, three things. One, it's a very long term.
Hmm.
Uh, the returns don't come at the time when you need it.
Hmm.
Returns come unexpectedly during a very short burst of liquidity.
Hmm.
Like in our case, most of us got liquidity in 21,
Mm.
right? 21, maybe part of 22, but 23 is totally dry, 24 is dry. So the liquidity periods are very, very limited and not in your hand at all, right? And secondly, they're uncertain,
Mm.
uh, right? So they say investments cycles are there, right? Which I see. I've seen three of them. So investment cycle means there are period when investors are very buoyant about the prospects of young startups,
Mm.
which we saw 21. Post-COVID, we saw that buoyancy. And then there are periods when they're not at all excited about it. We saw 23 as one,
Mm.
right? And then I've seen many such years. And in between, there are normal years.
Mm.
And normal years are where investments are happening at steady pace. There is no FOMO or little FOMO, and few exits spread out.
Mm.
So the exits opportunities bunch out at a point of time, and then greed takes over.
Mm.
Then what happens? You think, यार अभी तो ये 500 million आगे company.
Mm.
If I hold on, in 6 months it'll do another round. It'll become a billion,
Mm.
and many times you don't exit,
Mm.
even if the exit opportunities are there.
Mm.
Right? So one is the fewer exit periods, and then your greed takes over at those point of time. So I'll talk a little bit about that also. Uh, so from this example, what I want to establish it that I am Shiva primarily as an angel. तो हमारे हिंदू धर्म में है ना ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश, right? So angel has to be not just Brahma giving birth to new ideas. I am also Shiva dealing with a lot of dead companies, startups,
Yeah.
over a period of time. And we have to see the larger picture to make money.
Mm.
Right? And generally what happens when new angels start, you don't, very rarely would you get an exit in 1, 2, 3 years. If you, sometimes you get lucky, you do that. I
If
got
you
lucky.
invested in 2020, maybe you would have gotten exit in 21, 22. Like,
Yeah, so then it creates a false narrative about the asset class. But asset class by its nature is 10 years asset class, 10 to 15 years.
Mm.
I'm still invested in most of those 10 companies after holding them more than 7 to 10 years.
Mm.
And I think this is, in the next 10 years, they flower, many of them will do IPOs. And, you know, the other thing is, I, if I reflect back, I've been also more or less consistent, right? Uh, I met one micro VC. He said, so I was talking about portfolio. He said, we did 77 investment in 21,
Wow.
right? And I said, how many you did in 23? He said, 7.
Mm.
So exactly the opposite of what they actually should have done, they did.
Mm.
But it is because they had liquidity at that point of time. They had more money, they invested more money.
Mm.
And then greed was there. They were seeing portfolios raising new round, 3, 6 months round.
Mm.
Whereas venture has proven the vintage formula. जैसे एक wine होता है ना,
Mm.
2020 wine is bad. Merlot of 19 or 2017 is very good. So wines come with vintage, right? Investment portfolios come also with vintage. And this is proven actually in statistical research of venture industry returns.
Mm.
I have a feeling 2021 was great exit year, but very bad investment year,
Mm.
and may remain a scar on people who overcommitted capital in that vintage,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Today morning I tweeted, I said, behind every success, there are 3 important ingredients: luck, timing, and serendipity. Luck, timing, and serendipity.
Mm.
So, and I said, let's be humble to accept these 3 in our life. right? We tend to overstate my genius of investing or my hard work or my smart decisions that I took. All of that is good. It goes with these three.
Hmm.
So an angel's journey is journey of luck, timing, and serendipity.
Interesting, interesting. And I think like one very interesting point you mentioned is that like in like obviously like it's a non-liquid investment, like it get liquidate, like you don't know when you'll get like liquidity, right? Like you'll see the failures first, right? First 8 9 years you'll just see the failures, after which like the good ones will start dropping out. But also that angel investing is very cyclical in nature, right? Like for example, like during COVID, maybe travel companies were like not doing well, like companies like EdTech and Zoom were doing well. Post COVID, it's the other way around, right? So maybe just to so it's important to be consistent over a period of time. And maybe like in your journey, like you can share like have you been investing like equal amounts over the last 15 years, or like has it been that jab liquidity zyada hai tab zyada kara, but still being a little consistent?
Yeah, so I think what also there are two, three different factors at play. Most people, as they carry on with their life, either most angel investors would tend to be either founders
Hmm.
or CXOs, generally high net worth people, right? And they are in the prime of the age, right? I would say 35 to 45 when they start.
Hmm.
So their net worth improves with time over next 10 years. So their ability to invest improves as they go along this journey. Secondly, if they're smart, they will learn.
Hmm.
They learn the rhythm. Usually, it will start with a very smart portfolio, smart allocation of their capital. So let's say if someone at that age, 35 years, has net worth of 10 crore, I would advocate you don't put more than 1 crore into angel investing, right?
Around 10% basically.
There's no formula. It could be 5%, it could, but it is smaller. It's not like your need at that point. This point of time is to build a house. You also want to own a very nice car, and you should also have stock investing. So many people will start with small allocation. I also did that, and then as your net worth grows over a period of time, there are two important things: net worth and networks. So as your net worth grows, you start allocating more to this asset class. And that happens in parallel to your network growth. Your networks also grow,
Hmm.
right? Your network, your ability to comprehend what is happening also grows, good or bad. So that creates more confidence to invest more money,
Hmm.
right? So I also started small, and over the period as my networks, some returns came, um, and then net worth also improved, luckily. So allocation to startups improved,
Hmm.
right? So I think both are important, your net worth and network, when
Got
you invest. So if you only have net worth and you're blindly investing, that's also not likely to give you great return. And if you have networks but you have little net worth, then again, it's not optimal.
Hmm.
So they go hand in hand in an angel investor's life.
Got it. Got it. And Rajesh, I think you mentioned that like invest like 5 10% whatever of your kind of corpus in angel investing. Like, what's the best way to think of portfolio construction, right? Like, for example, if I let's say if I have 1 crore to invest in startups, should
Yeah.
I invest in 10 startups, 10 lakh each? Should I
Yeah.
invest 1 lakh in 100 startups? And then, like, should I think of different sectors to invest in? Like, for example, if I'm from a consumer background, should I just go deep in consumer, or should I kind of diversify? I should do AI, I should do mobility, I should do SaaS.
Yeah. So look, let me come to three, four issues which are getting connected here. One, greatest return opportunities come when the technology shift,
Hmm.
right? Historically, we have seen when web to mobile shift happened, mobile to cloud shift happened, from cloud to AI shifts are happening. A lot of capitals gets deployed in searching for the big winners of these tech shifts, right? And we've seen it in our country also. If you look at the journey of unicorn, they are happening around certain shift. The payment shift happened around UPI, so there are winners there. Uh, Consumer behavior changed in e-commerce, consumer behavior changed in food ordering, and so on. Consumer behavior is changing in B2B marketplaces, right? We are slightly different from Silicon Valley, where core technologies are invested more in core platforms, which are global in nature. We have lesser of those opportunities. So that is one aspect. And every 3, 4, 5 years, I've seen a tectonic shift happens,
Mhm.
right? So those are massive opportunities of capital deployment. Currently, the world is under Gen AI obsession, right? And that's why so much of capital globally has been deployed in that sector. And now also in India, it's getting deployed. So these are hot sectors which come, and then new sectors come. And then there are false sectors
Hmm.
which never take off. IoT was marketed as a next big thing. Web3 uh, came and went, right? Uh, some successes, but a lot of non-durable companies
Hmm.
came. They had bubbles. Then there were hot sectors like co-working spaces led by WeWork. So those things also happen in this cycle, right? Uh, so the way I dealt with it was that I said I'll remain consistent.
Hmm.
My theory is think 5 years, think 50 investments. Don't think 1 year, 1 crore hai, 5 laga दूं, 10 laga दूं, 50 laga दूं. I think your investment program and mindset should be, I'm building a cohort of 50 companies for 5 years in my life. Let's say I'm going to put in 5 years, 5 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore, 1 crore, 20 crore, whatever your corpus, your net worth estimation is,
Hmm.
right? And within the 5 years, start first years aram se. 5 companies karo, 10 crore, but smaller capital. And let's say if your overall goal is 5 crore, start with 50 lakhs.
Hmm.
Next year, go to 1, then 1.5, 2. Because what is happening in 5 years, your net worth is growing, your networks are growing,
Hmm.
right? So both will help you to make smarter decisions as you go along. So smart slowly and accelerate. This is the same model I propagate for startups. So पहले 1-2 साल figure out करना क्या है, right? And once you have the template, then you press the pedal.
Hmm.
It's the same thing. I don't believe in 5, 10, 20, 30. I believe in 50 companies portfolio in 5 years, let's say. You can do 100 in 5 years also. But thing is, the other question you ask is,
Amount.
1 crore है, उसको 100 कंपनी में लगाऊं, 5 में लगाऊं, 10 में लगाऊं.
Hmm.
The challenge of over diversifying is that even if you had 10 winners of which gave you 10x returns, still you will not get optimal returns. You will also have portfolio management issue. You will miss out details. So do what you can easily do. If you have 100 companies, then you need, यहाँ तो आप spray कर रहे हो, यहाँ otherwise you need an office to manage those portfolio. You will not be able to even sign documents. You'll have no idea what those companies do or not do. You are a passive investors.
Hmm.
If you're investing in 5 companies, let's say you invested 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs, you're tracking those companies, you've done more diligence while investing in those companies. So it depends on your personality type.
Hmm.
If your personality type is, I want to be involved with the business, I want to understand what's happening, I want to talk to founder every month, have a cup of tea with him, then you need to put more capital.
Hmm.
If you done 1 lakh, founder will not even talk to you, take your call.
Hmm.
Right? If you've given him 25 lakhs in the first round, he'll have a cup of tea, he'll share MIS with you. So if you are learning side of an angel, start with smaller, little more check, right? So that is it depends on who you are also. If you're just a index investor, right? You don't care which sector this company is. लगा दो एक लाख सब में. But even then, it's not optimal from a diversification strategy. You over diversify. So the right idea is that in a year, if maximum, I think, see, from a diversity point of view, there are not 3, 4, 5 themes in a year, in any year, right? जैसे कभी किसी साल में D2C hot हो गया, अभी आजकल EV हो गया last year. So there are maximum 3 themes in a year. Even if you own those 3 themes, put 3 companies, right? You get your diversification, right? And then what time you have. Most of these angel investors are also doing their daytime job, right? They don't have enough time to diligence so many companies, talk to so many companies, know about them. So I personally feel between 5 to 10 gives you enough of what you seek. Because you're not just seeking returns, you're also seeking association, learning. So these are the two dynamic on the size and the number. This is the question you asked.
Yeah. No.
And so I'm just to recapture what I said, think 5 years, not 1 year. Think 5 crores, not 1 crore, or think larger amount. Start slow, build it up. 100 clearly out. I think 5 to 15 a year is a very sweet spot for most of us who don't have full-time staff or someone to manage our investment. If you're running a family office, then it's a different thing.
Got it. No, I think super relevant. Sameer has a question on any tips on the process of deciding whether to invest in a company. Which steps have helped you get better chances of good returns? So essentially, maybe how do we identify founders? How do we identify the winners? Some of
Yeah, so I've seen there are 2-3 mindset. एक माइंड होता है यार और कौन लगा रहा है, राइट? सो अच्छा राजेश लगा रहा है, अपूर्व लगा रहा है, तो लगा देते हैं. I don't subscribe to that mindset. I feel you need to make your own mind while you're doing that investment.
You've been a first check backer in many companies.
Sorry?
You've been a first check writer in many companies, right? So
most companies,
yeah,
I do my own diligence. I never influence कि विजय शेखर lead कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है. It doesn't matter, right? So that's my first principle. Make up your own mind and your own reason why you like that company. The weakest reason is that some smart people, I believe, who are smart are investing. We don't know why they're investing, what their motivation is. In fact, most of those people don't even apply their mind. They say, अच्छा लग रहा है, दे दो 5-10 लाख रुपया, right? For Vijay Shekhar, 10 lakhs is not the same thing as 10 lakh for me, right? My 10 lakh, वो एक थ्योरी है ना, अगर एक गरीब आदमी को 1 करोड़ 1 लाख दिया, उसकी वैल्यू उस गरीब आदमी के लिए बहुत ज्यादा है. अमीर को 1 लाख दे दिया, उसको फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता, लगा दिया. तो money has relevance for me, and you should always be responsible for your own money. So I believe in the school of thought that don't blindly follow others. So the other way to describe it is momentum investing. जहाँ लोग भाग रहे हैं, right? So now I'll come to the second point. So there are hot sectors and not so hot sectors. Certain type of companies command higher valuation. अभी जैसे D2C है, वो बेचारा 1 करोड़ पर मंथ रेवेन्यू कर रहा है, उसको 25-30 करोड़ की वैल्यूएशन नहीं मिल रही है.
4-5x ही मिलती है नॉर्मली.
हाँ, वो आप लोग दे देते हैं, हम तो 3 देते हैं. Accelerate is little generous. But if you have some generative AI company started by something, he's getting 10 million also. I saw the same thing in Web3, random vague ideas people used to pitch. And there were people investing in them, right? They would come and pitch to me, oh, we are raising million, 2 million, 90% is subscribed. कल तक नहीं दोगे पैसे तो आपका भी चला जाएगा.
FOMO.
And वो अच्छा ही हुआ चला गया. तो my school of thought is make up your own mind why you're investing. At least understand the business, what that business is. Get some visibility into what that industry, business, what that guy is trying to do. That's why we do angel investing, right? So that's very important. And I believe in investing with smart people. And around those companies, pick the winner. Around those sectors, pick the winner with smart people.
Got it.
Right. So, and so that is second, right? Picking the other thing is the allocation, well, hot sector versus not so hot sector. So, like currently we are doing allocation across, right? We know that generative AI is hot, right? We know EV, climate tech is hot. So we'll do some allocation this year of our capital to that, but we're also investing in newer ideas which people are not aware or not talking about it as yet, right? So that's second. What doesn't make sense is to do very generic companies which the sectors have already been sort of captured, right? So unless there is a strong differentiation. So अगर mature industry होती है जैसे travel है, right? So we are doing a travel company, holiday planning, but we have to do more diligence about why are we going into a mature sector about a company. Why would that company succeed, right? So little more evidence, little more research, right, about that. So if you go into, let's say, if you see someone is launching a new soap, right? I'm not saying don't invest in that, but do more diligence. What is the chance of that soap? Or एक दंत मंजन की company आ गई है, right? Exotic दंत मंजन. Maybe it'll work, maybe it'll not work, but you do know that it's a crowded category. The FMCGs are sitting on it, and every share of and every percentage market share is fought tooth and nail. So what is the chance of a startup? What's his Reza the eighth, right? So the diligence there required is a little higher, right? So what we tend to do is 10, 15 companies we spread it across sectors. For example, we do 2 D2C companies, right? Only 2, but for D2C companies, our benchmarks are higher. We want to do companies only that have done 10 crore revenue last year, like we did with AC Ventures, BeautyWise, right? So our benchmarks have become higher for D2C companies, even though we are pre-seed. So why would I take a chance in a D2C company which is doing 2 lakh rupee revenue per month or 5 lakhs when I can get the same company for 30 crore valuation 2 years from now, having solved all the problems and got to a stage where I know I can take this company from 1 crore to 5 crore per month revenue, right? So we take these calls, right? Deep tech, for example, requires a different mindset. Those companies have longer gestation periods. They have gestation period of 5 years, right? So you have to choose very carefully in deep tech companies when do you go, because there will be long period when nothing happens. They survive year to year, sometimes on grants, sometimes on follow-on rounds. So, but there are winners in that sector also, and you cannot apply the revenue yardstick to deep tech as you can apply it to D2C. So you need to have a different way of understanding deep tech. What is the IP? What's the commercialization potential? Who will drive it? A lot of these deep tech companies are also done by PhDs who have no fucking idea of how to build GTMs. So what your contribution as investor is, can you help them think about their GTMs and help them go in that direction? SaaS companies have different dynamic playing right now, and SaaS has also become very overcrowded. So, and again, SaaS, you have to apply different dynamic to enterprise SaaS companies which need Salesforce, to SME kind of companies or PLG companies, product-led growth companies. And then there has to be product market fit. Well, I can spend days on these kind of topics, but we try to, within technology itself, try to diversify. So some hot sectors, some not so hot sectors, it's fine. If we think the founders have exceptional understanding of market, are building a product which has a chances, extraordinary chances of succeeding, I am happy to take some chance. So we are not predetermined, but different investors have different philosophies. I met a micro VC the other day. I said, okay, so how are you doing? He said, sir, मेरे portfolio में 15 fintech है. And he only did fintech in 21, 22, and he even did secondaries in fintech with no rights. Right? So I said, अब क्या करें? अब मैंने fintech छोड़ दिया. Now this year I am going after generative AI. So these kind of founders are also there who take a thematic view of that sector at that point of time, and then they move on to next sector, because that fintech will not remain hot forever, right? But we are different. We did fintechs last year. We did 3 fintechs last year. We did one company, 50 Fin, which is into lending against securities. We did another company, CarePay, which is for lending for uncovered part of your surgeries. Surgeries take a lot of money, and sometimes insurance doesn't fully cover it, or people may not have insurance. The third, we did Drivio, which is into two-wheeler financing, which is a big unsolved problem in the country. So it depends. But this is the view I take. I think we should take a balanced view, not ignore momentum sectors because they also create winners, but not ignore, like we did EdTech also, Arimihan, which then got funded by Excel. But a new point of view. If you're doing EdTech today, you cannot do tutor-led model, same thinking, unless the founders and the team are bringing a new perspective. And you will fail. Even then, it's fine. But that's how I was thinking. But I can take more questions.
Saloni, I think you had a question. You can go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Rajesh. Thank you for taking the time, and thanks, Karan, for hosting. So the question was around due diligence mainly, on how does that look for you in terms of the kind of interactions that you have with the founders in terms of commercial and financial due diligence. मतलब कितना कर सकते हैं given that the nature of the company is very early, pre-seed में, and how does that sort of impact your thesis or your valuation?
Very good question. So, so there are 3 different type of diligences. One is, for me, the most important part is founders, right? Understanding who they are, why they're together, why they are the best team. Will they survive together when they face a pivoting situation? And that's why I meet them in person and I try to assess that. But also their reference calls. Sometimes founders have weird connections with their parents. If parents have large shareholding in the company, then understand why something is going on. So sometimes companies have loans which they don't declare. Founders have given loan, and then when the term sheet comes, they say, "ये loan तो हम वापस लेंगे." That is strict no. These kind of issues are revealed through diligence, right? We should do diligence. Second is the business diligence is ज़्यादा होता नहीं है, right? They have only 1 year history when we invest, maybe. Sometimes Karan के पास आते होंगे तो 3 month की history होती होगी, right? So that's easy. My way of dealing with it is show me your MIS. I don't ask them to show me their audited financial. I said, what did you see for last quarter MIS? Right? It's a very simple thing. Last month का MIS दिखाओ जो आपने देखा था. So that tells me how is he managing his company. what metrics is he tracking, whether he has an MIS also or not, right? So it tells me how his management style, his way of thinking, quality of that report reveals a lot. It's a simple report, right? I'm just sharing my secret with you, right? Audited financials तो सेम ही लगता है, उसमें कुछ समझ नहीं आता, unsecured loan, this, that, वो क्या है. But वो MIS is a better way to understand what's happening in the business, right? That's the second. And the third is a legal diligence, which we do in any case. So normally, some part of diligence is done by the lead investor, right? So mostly angels nowadays don't lead the round. They either are part of a platform like Accelerate or whatever, or AC Ventures, or they are following someone, right? If a micro VC has put in large money, so they would do these kind of things, and you can ask the founder to share that.
Okay.
Right? So ask him, मतलब अपना MIS दिखा दो. Ask him to share what diligence the lead investor has done. You don't have the resources to do diligence on yourself.
Right. And do we get a say in, like, if अगर कोई findings मिलती है तो valuation पे कोई say आता है, or is that completely driven by lead investor? Or
Unfortunately, totally driven by lead investors. Person putting 5-10 lakhs has no say in how the company is getting financing. In fact, many cases you have almost zero visibility into also what company does as a standalone person, unfortunately, right? So you have to be very careful. That's why I'm saying either be comfortable with that कि मैं पैसा लगा दिया, मेरे को अच्छा लगा था founder, I had a good conversation, I got a good feel about it. Like, a lot of time I meet friends, यार feel अच्छी आ रही है, अच्छा है, लगा दे. तो वो भी ठीक है, मतलब sometimes that model also works. But if you're a kind of a person who wants to get involved, you like what they're doing and you want to get involved, then build personal rapport with the founders. Founders are also human beings. So irrespective of whether you're investing 5 lakhs or 5 crore, they also respond to your ability to talk to them and understand and help them, right? If you have a perspective that can help, they will engage with you, right? So you want to create, for example, I meet everyone. So a lot of time they just come to me. I have very small shareholding in most of them, but they come to me to talk. Sometimes they have issues at work communicating to other founder, right? Sometimes other founder needs to be asked to let go. I'm just they'll come and talk to me how to do it, sir. I'm not getting that vibe. Sometimes they have some other issues in the company, right? They have some problem with the lead customer or some supplier or AWS issues. So they feel comfortable talking to some people. They know these people give me good solution.
Right.
You are that person in their life. It doesn't matter how much ownership you have.
Yeah. This was helpful. Thank you.
Shravan, you also had a question. I think it was around choosing IIT-IIM founders versus like founders who are not from an IIT-IIM.
Yeah, is that the question?
Shravan, you want to add to that?
Yeah, just that. I have posted my question. बस वही मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि मतलब IIM के फाउंडर्स को में इन्वेस्ट करना इतना ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट क्यों, मैं उसको समझना चाह रहा हूँ.
नहीं इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है. इट्स जस्ट दैट वो जो डील फ्लो आता है उसमें वो यादव लोग होते हैं. जैसे हमारे पोर्टफोलियो में देखोगे तो IIT more than IIM actually. 70-75% founders are IITians, right? Which is the way it is, right? But we've also invested in SRCC founders, founders from smaller engineering colleges. It's not. For us, it's not an issue. For some funds, I know it is an issue. They won't say it, but they have hidden bias or maybe firm-wise understood value system that only from the premium college would they entertain founders. वो है, bias है, एक system में है. I'm not here to defend it. We have a more open view. When we hear first time from the founders, we don't consider this issue, what his educational background is. I think also what happens as the founders have 10 years of experience, this becomes less important. The quality of their experience becomes more important. 5-10 years of work, what they really did, what they built, is more important in my view than where did they do their graduation from, right? When you have young founders, just out of college or in college or 2 years out of the college, because there is a need for us to say, yaar, ye quality ka banda hai, really, how does he communicate? How does he think? How does he solve the problem? Because you're looking at those kind of attributes more, because those are untested, totally no experience founders, and we invest in them. Then education is also important. But we don't have a view that, IT गया तो इसलिए invest करेंगे. We will almost always invest because saying, yeah, we like this space, we think it's a large market, they built a good product, they have some traction, little bit. We know, we like the way they think about it, right? And their problem solving process is very good. And by the way, he's also from a premium college, right? This is how the process will run. Process hardly ever runs, यार ये आईटी का है तो इसको फंडिंग दे देते हैं, अच्छा ही होगा. We don't, मतलब, good investors don't do that any longer, right? So yes, world is not homogeneous. People with premium colleges have better access to pool of capital because their networks are better. Most likely, if he's an IT Delhi guy, he'll have one founder who's come from IT Delhi. So वो biases रहती हैं, right? This is how the world is, right? We think opportunities are coming from various different sectors, various different kind of people, and good companies can be built from entrepreneurial people from any background. That's our view.
Amazing. I think,
Thanks.
Rajesh, we have 10 minutes left. I wanted to touch upon another topic, which is the word you also mentioned right now, which is deal flow, right? Like, for example, at GSF, maybe like in your personal capacity, you might just get like 300, 400 decks every month, pitches every month, right? And you're meeting so many founders. And as an angel investor, you are as good as the number of companies you see, because usi se, like, you can then decide which are the best ones to invest into. You kind of get category insights, industry insights. So as an angel investor, and you're starting out in an individual capacity, how do you increase your deal flow? What are some things that have worked for you? How do you build your personal brand so that you kind of get more, like you get access to better companies which are raising?
Yeah, so I think it's a function of your networks and your time in the market, right? As you spend more time, your networks get built, right? People get to know you, you have meetings. Currently, for us, our existing portfolio founders are the best deal flow providers for me personally. We have 250, 300 founders we invested in, very smart. Most of them fail actually. And I have also invested in their second startups in many cases. But they inevitably sending 1 or 2 deals to us every day, right? So founders are the best deal source provider I have seen. Well, I also get deals from Vijay Shekhar Sharma, Dinesh Agarwal, yesterday Sahil of this कौन सी company है वो? हाँ?
Delivery.
No, the other Sahil Gurgaon wala. They keep sending. There's so many people who know Rajesh, can I introduce you this? I know this guy. So that's very important. It cuts through the clutter, and we pay attention to whenever the reference is coming from a founder I know, right? Sometimes also deals come from other investors saying, Apurva is saying, "यार ये अच्छी company है, इसको देख लो." We pay attention to that. There is, he's also putting his own money in that, so that I also refer sometime my company to him or others. So this is also incestuous word. Smart investors invest together, right? तो वो एक दूसरे को जानते हैं, एक दूसरे को better capital, I and good friends, Titan, good friends. So we respect each other, and selectively we'll do sometimes deal together or share at least. So some deal flow comes from there. For us, the brand also matters. So a lot of deal flow comes on our website, and we pay attention to that. That's why I have 4 analysts. If I were to do just 10 investment, I can do it myself from the deal flow I just get from the friends. But we pay attention to that because innovation can happen anywhere, right? And people may not know us. We still pay attention. उसमें थोड़ा time ज़्यादा लगता है to, मतलब, if a ship rocket founder is introducing, probably I'll meet him in a week or 2 weeks. Other guys may take 3 weeks, like that. And the last is we run our academy program. We always discover 1 or 2 good startups to put money in. Finally, for us, it's 10, 15 investments. The question for us is, see, if I'm making 15 investment, let's say I made 10 wrong investments. Whether I made 11 wrong investment is not the issue for me. The issue is whether I missed a good one. Right? This is the paradox of angel investing, right? Or any investing. So returns, if you see the return, मैंने अगर मान लो 10 करोड़ लगाए एक साल में, तो 7 करोड़ खराब हो गए, 7 की जगह 7.5 करोड़ खराब हो गए. It doesn't matter so long as the remaining 2.5 crore can give me 100% return. This is the crux of venture investing. So the paranoia is not about making a wrong decision. Paranoia is about missing the good one. So asking the right question is more important. Now the question is, good one can also come unannounced to you. Mall pe chal rahe ho, someone taps on your background, which happened yesterday. I was at 32nd milestone. I said, sir. I said, yes, I was with my wife. I had to rush. Oh, I want to talk to you about my business idea. So I was thinking, I just very briefly told him, write to me. But maybe I missed $1 billion opportunity, right? Right? I missed $1 billion opportunity. Myntra founder came to meet me in my office, and I was taking a flight that evening to LA, and I had to be there for a month in LA. And I met him, but then I said, मैं आके करता हूँ. Then मेरे को आने में देर हो गई. मैं चला गया. That's long time back. I was part of Mumbai Angels. So he came and met me, showed me his T-shirt. He was a T-shirt maker at that point. I said, yeah, I like him. He's a good guy. I said, हाँ मैं समझ गया. मैं आपको ना आके मिलता हूँ फाइनल करने से पहले. उस जमाने में 2 मीटिंग होती थी, right? तो मैंने कहा मेरे को अच्छा लग रहा है. I want to just come back. I'm coming back in a week. And that week became 4 or 5 weeks. हो जाता है business में, चला गया. And then it's not on your mind when you're working. Most of you are working. You have your main job. Then I missed out. And there goes 10 crores. My 10 lakhs would have become 10, 15, 20 crores, 25 crores. Right? I'm saying this story for this reason.
Got it. Amazing. Guys, any last questions? I think Saloni has, Siru has asked a question. Yep. Sorry, go ahead.
एक्चुअली मैं एक स्टार्टअप को अभी मेंटर कर रहा हूँ. एक्चुअली मैंने इन्वेस्ट नहीं किया है, तो मैं उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा डिस्कस करना चाहता हूँ, इफ आई कैन. एक्चुअली एक स्टार्टअप है, वो टेलीकॉम सेक्टर से है. ही इज एक्चुअली सेइंग कि वो डेमोक्रेटाइज कर रहे हैं इंटरनेट को, और उसकी जर्नी मैं 3-4 साल से देख रहा हूँ. मैंने भी इन्वेस्ट नहीं किया, बट मेरे पास रेगुलरली आता रहता था कि भैया थोड़ा सा कुछ हेल्प कर दो. तो वो एक्चुअली इंटरनेट की फील्ड में कुछ कर रहे हैं, मतलब वाईफाई से रिलेटेड. तो मैंने काफ़ी सारी जर्नी देखी उसकी भी, और इंडस्ट्री को भी समझने की कोशिश करी. तो मुझे दिखाई कि काफ़ी कंपनीज ने वो काम किया भी है. जैसे वाईसी फंडेड कंपनी आई है, वाईफाई डब्बा. अभी करंटली इन्वेस्टेड है व्योम, जो वेंचर कैपिटलिस्ट और मल्टीपल आई कंपनीज ने इन्वेस्ट किया है. बट मैंने उस बंदे के में डिफरेंस क्या दिखा है, वो मतलब 3-4 साल से मैं कनेक्टेड हूँ, मैंने कभी इंटरेस्ट नहीं दिखाया उसमें इन्वेस्ट करने का. और मेरी उतनी ज़्यादा कैपेसिटी भी नहीं थी, बट मैं जितना कर सकता था उतना मैं इसको एक्सप्लोर कर रहा था उस स्टार्टअप को. तो वो 3-4 साल से मैंने जो उसको एग्जामिन किया कि वो जो बोल देता है ना कि सर ये कंपनी इस टाइम तक चलेगी, नहीं वो चलती है, चली है. और जो बोल देता है ना सर ये कंपनी नहीं चल पाएगी इस इंडस्ट्री में, मैंने काफ़ी टाइम दिया है इस इंडस्ट्री को डीपली, और वो सच में डीपली दिया भी है उसने. तो वो वैसा हुआ है. तो मैं उसकी हेल्प करूँ इन टर्म्स ऑफ फंडिंग या नहीं करूँ, क्योंकि अभी उस व्योम के बारे में वो डीपली मुझे जितना बताया, मैंने खुद से रिसर्च किया, वो सारी चीज़ें फैक्चुअल मुझे दिख जाती हैं. मतलब क्योंकि वो सारा डेटा उसका नहीं है. लाइक वो 2019 से पहले वो जो बोलता था, वो बाद में मैकेंजी की रिपोर्ट आई, उसमें मुझे प्रूफ पॉइंट सेट हुआ कि हाँ मैकेंजी ने भी ये रिपोर्ट पब्लिश करी, और वो पहले बोलता था ये सब चीज़ें कि ऐसा होगा आने वाले टाइम में.
देखिए,
और
आप 5 साल से उसकी डिलीजेंस कर रहे हो, थोड़ा पैसा दे दो एक एंटरप्रेन्योर को.
सर वो 5 साल की बात नहीं है, अभी तक तो मैं खैर मेरा मूड नहीं था. बट अब जाके कुछ टच पॉइंट्स फील हो रहे हैं कि शायद
Yeah,
वो
you
शायद
see,
राइट
I
ट्रैक पे है.
think
बट
most of
और फिर ये सब बातें कि मतलब वो
the point I'm
आईआईटी.
trying to make is most of us will make these decisions about 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 5 lakhs in a month. You had opportunity to know this person for 2, 3, 4 years. So I'm sure your heart and your gut knows what to do. Follow your instincts, right? Well, you've done so much of research. Uh, Sometimes you need to take a step. See, the point is when you invest, you have to be like what Gita says. अब भूल जाओ कि कितना आएगा, ये 1x आएगा, 0. मैं तो 0 कर देता हूँ उसके बाद.
या वो तो टेंडेंसी है सर
कर
मेरी
देता
भी.
हूँ.
मैं एक बार जो करना है टाइम लगा दूंगा, लेकिन एक बार जो कर दिया फिर उसके बारे में सोचना के
हाँ,
लिए मैं
उसके
छोड़
बाद
देता हूँ, लक के ऊपर छोड़ देता हूँ.
5 साल
क्योंकि
के बाद पता
आया
चलेगा.
तो आया, नहीं आया तो देखा जाएगा. बट मतलब
See,
एक बार थोड़ा.
statistically, see, one is portfolio management. Second, here the case is you liking that entrepreneur and his and you have met him multiple times over 5 years. I don't think anyone else can help you now in making your investment decision other than you yourself,
Obviously.
right? So even if you cannot invest in him for whatever reason, tell him I cannot invest in you for this reason. So have a conversation. If you can invest, then back it, right? So returns is one thing in life, right? Financial return. But the journey with the company in which you have invested, even if it's going to be 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, should be meaningful, purposeful, rewarding for your other needs. Your needs to, like in your case, you are from a particular industry and he is providing you good insights into that industry. So he's given value already to you, right? So that's how I also we invest. I started investing because of that, right? And I think that was the original purpose of angel investing का original purpose एक अपना भी था, एक also played forward है, that we are helping people with little bit of money at the time in their life where they need little capital to take it forward, right? I am old school of thought in that sense, but I'm also applying modern thinking of asset allocation, portfolio construction to today as I'm professionally doing it, right? But I also take random bets also on my personal capacity once in a while. I, like a founder, I give him money.
Great, great.
एक्चुअली सर मैं अभी थोड़ा सा इस सेक्टर के बारे में भी थोड़ा सा और डीपली रिसर्च करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ पर्सनली कि इज इट रियली नीड ऑफ द टाइम, मतलब जो वाईफाई है वो उनका उसका कहना है कि वो
If I
सिटी
may,
वाइज
sorry,
सर
I'm just conscious of Rajesh's time. So if you want, like 11:30 हो गए, what I can do is, like,
नहीं, let me say, look, इस सेक्टर पे आप रिसर्च करिए 100%, बट यू नेवर हैव इनफ रिसर्च टू से ये सक्सीड होगा या नहीं होगा. यू कैन ओनली डू ए रिसर्च टू से मेरे को इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए या नहीं करना चाहिए, राइट? हमें कभी भी नहीं पता होता है कि कोई वेंचर सक्सीड करेगा या नहीं करेगा. एक्चुअली मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि अगर मेरी 100 कंपनीज जिसमें मैंने इन्वेस्ट किया एट वट एवर स्टेज, after a year that company had pivoted at least once. So what are we assessing? We are not assessing the sector, usme product chalega ya nahi chalega. We are assessing the ability of the founder to adapt and change, pivot, manage new situation. ये थोड़ा सोचने का तरीका है, राइट? वो प्रोडक्ट की इन एनी केस 5 साल के बाद उस प्रोडक्ट की जरूरत ही नहीं होगी. वो प्रोडक्ट एंट्री वेज है. एक कंपनी स्टार्ट होती है 2G से, एयरटेल, बट अब 2G कौन चलाता है? अब तो 5G हो गया, राइट? कंपनीज इवॉल्व every 3-4 years. Is it an evolving company or is it a company that will die with this product? That is the question. Question is not whether this product will work or not. It is about what we ask. We get the answer to the question we ask in our head. We tend to ask wrong questions most of the time in life. That's what I want to leave this session on. Sorry, Karan, I just wanted to set the context here.
Yeah.
थैंक यू सर.
Great. Thank you so much, Rajesh, for your time. Vinny, maybe, we are connected. You can share your question offline with me and I can pass it on to Rajesh.
We can take one more question agar hai to kar
Go
lete.
ahead. Vinny, go ahead.
All right. Hey, thanks, Karan, and thank you, Rajesh. This is a very insightful session. I had a simple question around when you mentioned you mentor startups as well, right? My question is, do startup founders seek other startup founders as mentors, or are they also open to listening to folks who may not be founders themselves, but are sort of in the industry for a long time?
No, see, startup founders are hungry for insights, connections. Good startup founders, they're always should be looking for people who can make a difference to their business, right? Especially in the industry that they are in, right? Ab Karan hai, if Karan can lower the CAC of the startup, Karan offers some help, you should take it. If for startup founders, helping startup founders is another layer, because usme kya hai ki they've gone through similar journeys. They have certain question they can only, those founders will relate better, but there is so much of industry expertise to be sought and gotten. I think there's I've seen a lot of startup founders having mentors from even public sector, even IAS officers. There's nothing wrong. IAS officers have so much of knowledge, insight, especially if your industry is fintech and you are under regulatory prism. Then someone who knows how to deal with SEBI, RBI can bring so much of value to the to that startup, right? So relevant expertise is so cherished by good founders.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Rajesh, for your time. And yeah, like, I know it's a Saturday morning, so like,
No, anytime for the community. You see, we are here not just to make money, but to build better entrepreneurial India. That's what I believe collectively. So we play it forward Angels have a good role to play in that. More angels we have, more capital they're giving. Sometimes it wasted. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It's going for a good cause in building a system which is risk taking. For centuries, our entrepreneurial instincts as a nation have been suppressed by colonial rules and then by socialistic structures, and now by the bureaucracy. Uh, uh, a nation can only become great with unmatched entrepreneurial energy, and I think we have it. Our job is to open the lid. So that's what we are all collectively doing, and I wish you good luck as you invest, make money, help startups. Good luck to everyone. Bye.
Thank you, guys. If you can just, Rajesh, if you like, you can log off. I wanted to just talk about Accelerate and what we are building for 5 minutes. So let me just share a quick, deck that I wanted to present. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Great, great, guys. So my name is Karan. I work at Meta. I lead content marketing for Meta in India. ISB grad, and I run Accelerate as a passion project. At Accelerate, we're trying to do two things. We're building a founder-led accelerator for early stage startups, and we are building an investing platform for people like us to democratize angel investing and invest in very, very exciting early stage companies. This is the team. Obviously, like I shared about myself. Then one of our founding partners is Apoorv Chamadia. He had startup and VC at Google in India. Again, like one of Rajesh's good friends, invested in 200 plus companies. Tarun, again, he runs Capinity as an early stage fund himself, and angel invested in 50 plus companies. Between me, Apoorv, and Tarun, we've invested in about 200 plus companies, many unicorns and unicorns in our portfolio, like Innovate, Stage, StateGain, BooSmart, Zip Electric, Mokubora, Shiros. Like we had 11 companies on Shark Tank last year. So we've kind of developed like a good expertise in identifying early stage founders and backing them in early stage. We're also backed by most of our India's best unicorn founders, who are our visiting partners who identify and share deals with us, where we can invest and also mentor our portfolio companies. From the accelerator, like I'm just want to share an example of 8 companies that we are backing this year. Leah Clothing Co. We've been helping them grow from almost like a 1 crore to 8 crore revenue this year. They were on Shark Tank, raised a 4 shark deal at a 30 crore valuation. Tractor Factory is building a marketplace for tractors, help them grow to almost like a 12 crore revenue, raising at a 50 crore valuation. Similarly, other companies like FitFees, G, Nitara. So we invest in consumer internet, generative AI, mobility, B2B SaaS marketplaces, ad tech businesses. We do about like through our accelerator, we support about 30 to 40 companies a year. Right, about our Super Angels program, as I said, we're democratizing angel investing. What we're trying to do is we're building this community of invest people like us, CXO, startup founders, people who work in leadership positions in startups, or even in established companies, to learn from the best. So we do these mentor master classes with people like Rajesh, where you can attend, learn about angel investing. Then we present one startup to you every week. So in a year, you're getting access to 52 startups every week, where you do like a Zoom call like this, ask the founder questions, and if you want to then invest, kind of go ahead. And these are across sectors. And these are companies that we have been backing and we know for a year. And then essentially we have this exclusive WhatsApp community where you can network, learn with top founders, collaborate and grow. Right. And this is just the commercials of if you'd like to join the Accelerate Super Angel program. So we have a 2,000 rupee fee per year to join the community. As I said, it's very inclusive. This fee is just to kind of make sure that we have very interested folks who are interested in investing. With this 2,000 fee, you get access to a WhatsApp group. You get access to weekly pitches, 52 pitches from startups, one pitch every week, and you get access to these masterclass sessions by India's top investors where you can build your network. If you decide to invest in any startup through Accelerate, we charge a 5% transaction fee, which is because angel investing is essentially a SEBI regulated thing, and you need to have technology platforms to partner with. So this transaction fee is passed on to the technology platform, and then we do a 10% carry on any investment you make. So essentially, a carry is like when you decide to get an exit from the startup, maybe 7-8 years, then we'll take a 10% of the returns. This is very, very low as compared to what like a fund or anything in the market, like normally the market rates are 20% carry plus commission, where essentially funds or any syndicate would take that. We want to make it very inclusive. And essentially, again, the minimum amount to invest in startup is 1 lakh rupees to accelerate. So again, we're trying to make it very inclusive and want to make more people to kind of, join the community. These are some industry partnerships. You can listen to our podcast. We are very active on LinkedIn, followed by Top VCs, Top Angels, on YouTube, on Instagram. And if you'd like to join the community, know more, you have my details. I've shared my number here. You have my email ID as well. Would love to kind of have you guys as part of the community, have you start investing, help you build your networks, and really help you grow, in your angel investing journey. So, happy to answer any questions you may have, and happy to kind of connect offline as well.
Yeah, Karan just had one question. So do you also help with exits?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Saloni, like that's one of the biggest things that we've been able to drive, through our investments over the last 15 years. So I've been investing for the last 4 years. Apu's been investing along with Rajesh for 15 years, right? And overall, like so there's this very famous quote that if agar you become an investor only when you get an exit, right? Like अगर आप खाली पैसे डाल रहे हो तो आप donor हो, right? Investor आप तभी बनते हो जब आप exit drive कर पाते हो, right? So essentially, and that's why we have this 10% carry model, because we stay investing in these companies for 6-7 years, and essentially, while you might be investing across multiple companies, we are working with these founders on a day-to-day basis, helping them with their GTM, helping them with their partnerships, helping them with scale. And just to give you an example, about 17% of the overall 200 companies that we have invested in till now, we've either been able to get an exit through IPO, through acquisitions, or exiting when they're raising like a Series B, Series C.
Understood. Yeah. So would be helpful if you also share a deck that you just shared, or any other, the entire list of companies. I already went through their website.
Yeah,
So
sure. Let me share this over email with you.
yeah,
And yeah, happy to then.
that will be helpful.
With me also, Karan, please.
Then I'll share it with the whole group. Great. Anything else I may answer?
Karan is sector agnostic, right?
Sorry.
Your sector agnostic, right?
Yeah, we invest across sectors, consumer internet, D2C enablement platforms, mobility, ad tech, B2B marketplaces, generative AI. We have done a couple of companies, so it's across sectors. And essentially, like like when you join our platform, like the pitches that you get every week, these are also across sectors. Essentially, these are all companies that we know the founders for 6 to 12 months, and we are backing, we are investing, and then obviously it's up to you whether you would like to kind of invest and be a part of the company. Even if you're not investing, like personally, like why I started angel investing was because I've been a two-time D2C founder. I've built like two companies where I've gone from 0 to 100 crores, but I never built something very large, right? So the idea for me about investing is also intellectual simulation. Like my goal is that if I over the next 10 years, as India turns to like a $30 trillion economy, right, like $10 trillion economy, like if I can kind of invest in 100 companies, right, like 10 companies a year, I know that in terms of wealth creation I would have done well. Also in terms of getting the best ideas, networking with the best founders, I would have done well. Like so, like as Rajesh said, network and net worth, right? So like these are two reasons why I personally invest. And like that's one of the most rewarding parts that I have got as an angel investor, right, where I meet these founders on a day-to-day basis, and essentially learn about new industries, and also see how large companies are being built.
Karan, this is Bala here. I have on WhatsApp, you'll be sharing the details of pitches every week, but it will be overwhelming after some time to follow really, and so many groups these days. Do you curate further and then tell us these are the half a dozen deals or a dozen deals? We really have a lot of confidence on them. Why don't you take a look?
Yeah. So essentially, Thiru, so essentially the idea is for us to only showcase companies that we, are backing or investing, or have come through like very credible sources like a Rajesh or an Apoor, like who are very senior industry figures. So personally, like if you'd ask me, like on my personal capacity, I invested in about 21 companies last year. That's what I do. I do small check sizes, about 2 to 3 lakh rupees, but I do like I invest in more number of companies. So as Accelerate, we'll not be investing in all of these companies, but these are all companies that have come, are great founders, have come through references. So and the idea for us while we're doing this is so that we increase your deal flow, right? So like it's not that if I am investing in a company, you should also kind of invest in it. But like if you feel that there's a sector you're excited by, there's a founder you're excited by, you'd like to help, you can kind of network with them. And you can kind of collaborate with them. So the companies that we showcase every week, these are done over a Gmeet type call where founders pitch to you for about 30 minutes. Then there's back and forth and Q&A. And then we also share who are the people who are investing in these companies. We share an IM with you as well, and then you can decide whether you want to join the call, whether you want to invest, or if you like, you don't want to invest.
Okay, got that. Thanks.
Yeah, and this shared over WhatsApp, they shared over email. So and we'll be having an app soon as well. So like you can track it there as well.
Accelerate, what are the typical check sizes that you guys write?
So through our community, we do about a 50 to 75 lakh check size, and in a company. So essentially, we don't lead a round. Like generally the rounds are being led by micro VCs, like Titan Capital, Source VC, Real Time Angel Fund, Agility Ventures, IPV, right? So like we come in the first round of a company, right? So so we look at companies which are in a revenue stage, which are bootstrapped and which have not raised till now. And essentially, these are companies which are raising like a 2.5-3 crore round. They have commitments from a couple of micro VCs which are doing about 1 crore each, and then we do like a 50 to 75 lakh round through our community. And the community right now is about 200 plus people. These are all top founders, unicorn founders, CXO, startup founders, who kind of, some people would do like a 10 to 15 lakh check size. Some people like me would do like a 1 lakh check size, 2 lakh check size, would then invest in these companies. And so as an overall, the entity, we do about a 50 to 75 lakh check size. On the cap table of the company, the Accelerate is on the cap table of the company. We kind of work with the founders on a day-to-day basis, and you have joined the investment as the syndicate, and you get your proper share certificate, as it's because it's obviously SEBI regulated, and you get all the documentation.
Got it. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. Looking forward to collaborate. Thank you for your time, over a weekend. And, you have my number and email. Happy to kind of, be in touch and be a friend and supporter in your journey. All right. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Thank you.